I used to think monsters waited for the dark. That summer before 8th grade taught me otherwise. There were 6 of us, me, Rose, Noah, Zach, and 2 older kids, Todd and Margot, who came along as unofficial chaperones. Noah's family owned land deep in the Pacific Northwest woods, 20 miles from anything resembling a town. We'd been out there 2 days already, swimming in the lake, cooking over the fire, telling ghost stories that made us laugh because nothing bad ever actually happened in those woods. That's what we told ourselves. The first sign came the night before everything fell apart. Margot came storming out of the girls' tent after midnight, annoyed. Something had been running on the outside of the fabric, tapping, dragging. Todd laughed it off, probably a branch in the wind. We all nodded and went to bed. But I woke up at 2 a.m. to the same sound, soft, rhythmic tapping on the tent wall right beside my head, and underneath it, a low giggling, deep, male, trying to stay quiet. I lay there completely still. It's the boys pranking us. It's that branch Todd mentioned. The tapping stopped after about a minute. I forced myself back to sleep. I wish I hadn't. Morning came. We split up. The girls went for a short hike. The boys stayed to fish. When we returned to camp, the boys were down at the lake. Rose and I reached the tents first. I screamed before I even fully processed what I was seeing. The nylon walls were slashed, not torn by an animal, precise, deliberate cuts, small and clean, the kind a knife makes. The air inside carried a new smell, metallic, wrong. Todd found his car tire slashed too, rubber gaping open. No cell service, tents destroyed, one working car between all of us. Margot took Noah and Lynn to drive toward the main road to call 911. Her car couldn't fit everyone with the gear. That left me, Rose, Zach, and Todd at camp. We weren't staying. We grabbed what we could and started hiking toward the main road to meet her. 30 minutes in, something changed. The bird song stopped. The forest went the kind of peace that doesn't feel like peace. It feels like held breath. Then, a branch snapped behind us. Not a deer. Too heavy, too deliberate. Todd started glancing back. His easy confidence was gone. His jaw was tight. "Walk faster," he said quietly. "Don't run, just walk faster." The sounds in the brush kept pace with us. Crunch, snap, crunch. More than one set, moving parallel to the trail, keeping up without effort. My hands were slick on my backpack straps. Animals don't stalk you like this. Animals don't follow a trail. Todd stopped dead. Through a gap in the branches, maybe 60 feet back, a shape, tall, dark hood, no face, just a smooth span of black wool where a face should be. "There are 3 of them," he breathed. Then he screamed, "Run!" I didn't think. My body just went. I looked back once, one single glance, and that image has never left me. 3 men, broad daylight, each one well over 6 feet, hoodies pulled low, faces completely covered by black ski masks, no eyes visible, just dark voids. And in their hands, long hunting knives catching the afternoon sun with a flat, cold glint. They weren't shouting, they weren't threatening, they were just running. Silent and purposeful, boots hammering the earth, closing the gap fast. I was screaming as I ran, some ragged sound I didn't recognize as my own voice. Branches whipped my face, and I felt nothing. My lungs were burning. Rose was struggling to keep up, shorter legs working twice as hard, and Zach and I flanked her without thinking. Todd was ahead, hurdling a fallen log. The footsteps behind us got louder. I stopped looking back. I just ran and waited to feel something cold between my ribs. Then the trees broke open. Gravel, sky, the main road. A dirty white pickup was rounding the bend. Todd threw himself in front of it. The driver, an old man, a terrier on the passenger seat, slammed the brakes and stared at us with wide, horrified eyes. We scrambled into the truck bed. I turned to face the tree line. The three hooded figures had stopped right at the tree's edge, half swallowed by shadow, ski masks tilted toward us, watching. They didn't chase, they didn't retreat. They just stood there, perfectly still, until the truck pulled away and the trees swallowed them whole. Police searched the woods, found nothing. No masks, no footprints that proved anything. No one arrested. They mentioned escaped convicts from a facility 2 counties over, maybe locals with a history. Nobody was ever caught. I still don't know who they were. I don't know why they slashed our tents and waited all night before deciding to follow us out. I don't know what would have happened if the road had been 30 seconds further. What I do know is this: I can't walk through a quiet forest anymore without listening for that first deliberate snap of a branch and the footsteps that follow.
I've slept near windows my whole life without a second thought. I don't anymore. 4 of us rented a cabin for the weekend. My girlfriend Sarah, our friends Mike and Jess, and me. Pacific Northwest, deep forest, the kind of place where the trees are so old and thick they block out the sky. The cabin had one feature that sold it in the photos, a massive floor-to-ceiling window facing the forest. During the day, it was beautiful. That night, it became something else entirely. By 11, everyone was asleep. I lay facing the window in my sleeping bag, pleasantly tired, listening to the frogs. There were hundreds of them somewhere in the marsh below the ridge, a constant, wet, pulsing chorus that filled the whole night. I was almost gone, drifting, safe. The frogs stopped. Not gradually. One moment they were there, the next, nothing. Silence so complete it had weight. My eyes opened on their own. I lay still, telling myself it was a predator passing through. Owl, coyote. That's what makes the woods go quiet. I'd heard it before. But the silence kept pressing in, and with it came a feeling I couldn't reason away, the specific, physical certainty of being watched, not glanced at, studied. My scalp prickled. My arms went cold. You're overtired. Close your eyes. I turned my head toward the window instead. The forest was a solid wall of black. No moon, no stars, just thick cloud cover and darkness. I let my eyes adjust, picking out the vague shapes of tree trunks. There was a large cedar about 50 yards out. I'd leaned against it that afternoon. Familiar tree. Something was standing beside it. A silhouette. 7 feet tall, maybe more. Shoulders so broad they made the cedar trunk look narrow. Perfectly upright, perfectly still. Not the sloped posture of a bear on its hind legs. This was straight, structured. The head was slightly tilted forward, like it was listening. My brain ran through everything. Stump, shadow, trick of the light. But the tree wasn't moving. The air was dead calm, and the shape had shoulders. Stumps don't have shoulders. I reached for Mike. My hand found his shoulder and shook it. He didn't stir. I tried again. Nothing. My throat had sealed shut. I couldn't produce a sound. I just lay there gripping his shoulder while the shape stood at the tree and did nothing. Just stood, just watched. An hour passed. Maybe 2. I couldn't look away. The moment I closed my eyes, I imagined opening them to find it pressed against the glass, and that thought kept them wide open and burning. Then it moved. Not toward the cabin, just a slow tilt to the massive head, shifting its gaze from the cabin generally to me specifically. That small adjustment was the worst thing I've ever seen, because it meant it had been scanning before, and now it had found what it was looking for. My heart stopped working correctly. A tear slid from the corner of my eye, and I didn't wipe it. I couldn't move a single muscle. I just lay there looking at something that stood in the dark outside a cabin window for 2 hours without making a sound, without getting tired, without looking away. I thought, I'm gonna watch it walk toward the glass and I'm not gonna be able to scream. It didn't walk toward the glass. At some point near dawn, I blinked, and the space beside the tree was empty. Just the cedar standing there the way it always had. The frogs started up again, hesitant at first, then the full chorus. I told the others in the morning. We went outside to look. The ground near the tree was soft, a few deep impressions in the moss that could have been anything. No clear prints, nothing conclusive. The air smelled like dew and ferns, completely ordinary. We left by midday. I still don't know what stood there. I know it was tall. I know it was patient. I know the entire forest went silent for it and didn't start again until it left. And I know that some nights, lying in the dark before sleep, I feel that weight again, that specific pressure of something outside deciding to look directly at you. I keep my blinds down now, all of them, always.
I've been camping my whole life. Whatever I saw that night, I still can't explain it, and I've stopped trying. There were 6 of us, all experienced. We'd driven deep into the backcountry of Vancouver Island, off an old logging road that barely deserved the name, until the trees became something else entirely. Ancient cedars, Douglas firs so wide that all 6 of us linking arms wouldn't have circled the biggest ones. Bark thick as elephant skin, draped in moss that hung heavy and green in the damp air. We set up camp in a small clearing, got the fire going, passed around food. Frogs chorused from a nearby creek. Insects hummed. Someone roasted sausages that hissed and popped over the flames. My body was loose and tired from the hike in. No phones, no signal, no worries. Just the 6 of us and the old growth breathing around us. I remember thinking how lucky we were to find places like this. It happened without warning. 1 second, the forest was fully alive. Frogs, insects, the soft rustle of leaves. The next, gone. Dead. Like someone had reached down and sucked every sound out of the air. Mark, who spent half his life doing forestry work, went rigid in his chair, head tilted, eyes on the tree line. "Shut up," he said quietly. "Listen." We fell silent. The fire still crackled, but it sounded wrong now. Too loud, each pop sharp against nothing. I could hear my own heartbeat. "Forest went quiet," Mark said. "That's predator behavior. Cougar maybe. Bear. We should think about heading to the trucks." I told myself he was right. We'd heard silence like this before. Once when a black bear passed close, another time with a cougar. Nature's early warning system. This felt different though. Deeper. The absence had weight to it. The massive cedars that had felt majestic 10 minutes ago now just loomed. My hands had gone cold around my camp muck. Then I saw the light. About 100 feet out, at the edge of the tree line, where the old growth thickened into solid dark, a red glow bloomed. Not a flashlight, not a lantern, not anything I had a word for. It was a sphere, roughly the size of a beach ball, producing its own deep ember red light, like a glass globe filled with living fire. It pulsed softly, casting a sickly crimson wash across the trunks and hanging moss as it moved. And it moved, slowly, at walking pace, weaving between the massive trees, passing behind one cedar and emerging on the other side. No sound, no snapping twigs, no rustle. In undergrowth so thick a careful hiker would have made noise. Absolute silence. My brain tried everything: drone, swamp gas, trick of the light, someone with a weird lantern. None of it stuck. My eyes wouldn't look away, and my body wouldn't move. I've nearly died in a car wreck before. I know what sharp fear feels like. This was different, slower, heavier, like something in me was recoiling from the inside out. Nobody spoke. Nobody reached for anything. 6 grown adults, completely frozen. The orb drifted through the trees for maybe 20 seconds, purposeful, unhurried, like it had all the time in the world. Then it faded, slowly dissolving from the center outward, until nothing was left but the black wall of forest. 10 seconds of total silence. Then the frogs came back, the insects, a distant bird. The whole forest exhaled at once, like it had been holding its breath. That should have felt like relief. It didn't. We all started talking at the same time, hushed, frantic, falling over each other. What was that? Did you see? It wasn't a light, it was inside the light. Our voices sounded small and wrong. My hands were shaking. Every shadow between the trees felt alive now. The same cedars that had felt protective 20 minutes ago felt like they were closing in. Nobody said, "Let's leave." We just started moving. We packed in near silence, stumbling over roots, headlamps sweeping wild shadows that made everything worse. Drove 30 minutes to the nearest campground with other people and lights and the smell of grilled food and diesel. Sat in the trucks until morning. The property owner came by the next day. When we told her, she listened, face going stone cold. She said that patch was one of the oldest old growth left on the island, trees centuries old, land tied to indigenous history that went back thousands of years. She didn't say it to scare us. She said it the way someone states a fact they've long since accepted. We didn't argue, we just left. I still get the nightmares. Red light moving through endless trees, the silence pressing down until I can't breathe. I don't know what we saw. I only know the forest went quiet for it, and when it was done, the world started again like nothing happened. Something inside me never quite did.